There we go. We're going to clean up our act. We're going to go from the empty calories of donuts to a fruit bowl. So yeah, we're
We did for one of the. Oh
yeah, yeah. So there's lots of ways we can do lots of things, but we're looking at some specific tools this week. Yeah. Oh, the glass is fun. We're gonna get there. We'll do the bowl in like 5 minutes. Don't even worry about that. Yeah. It's like I don't know what's going on. It's super reflective. So we're gonna get into probably the biggest thing we're gonna cover that's new is curves and the screw modifier. So we'll just go. I'm gonna pop into Blender and let me get rid of this. Your computer's still rendering donuts, so you're not on board with our latest health craze where we're gonna have fruit. He's like, no, I'm still having donuts over here. All right, new general. I'm going to go ahead and save this right quick and get me all set up. So, Blender 2025. Good golly, what week is this? We're week 6 now. How did that happen? Week 6. Huh? Like, yeah, I think so. Okay, so I've got my outer folder. We'll make a bunch of new folders. Maybe spelled them right. Who knows? Don't know that we're going to do any exports, but we've got it. All right, so in my scenes folder, just call it bowl, fruit bowl, whatever. So I'm saving my file. It's all set up. We're good to go. Spidey's going to go. Again, we're going to be just free-forming for now, and we'll worry about scale later. So I'm going to get rid of Spidey. Let me turn these things on. So I got nothing in my scene, nothing up my sleeves. We're going to do add, and we're going to do curve and Bezier. It's going to give us this thing. This is a little squiggly boy. If you're into like Illustrator, vector graphics, all that kind of stuff, you can have lots of fun here. So I'm gonna hit tab, and we've got basically 2 points, and you can pull them around. Nice. I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna move this over, and you can see like it affects the curve, right? Yeah. If you like that, go for it. I'm not playing. So I'm going to take this. I'm in edit mode. I created a Bezier curve, and I've got this guy. I'm just going to delete it. So now I've got an empty curve with nothing in it. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to come to some sideways view here. I'm going to select this guy right here that says draw. I'm just going to freehand this. So we'll start with an apple. So I'm just going to draw one side of the silhouette of an apple. So I'm going to start up here, get the stem, come down in there, come up, just drawing a big fat apple, comes down, something like that. Okay, freehand, draw, have fun. It's a really fat apple. Tab, I'm done. Here's my shape. That's an apple. You like it? Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's an ear. I don't know what's going on with up here, but yeah, could be an ear. So let me go. I've got this guy selected. I'm in object mode. I'm going to come over here to my little wrench guy. Add modifier, generate, screw. Now it's an apple. How you like them apples? No, sorry, that was really bad. So what I'm going to do here I'm going to change my steps here. I'm going to crank it up to 32. So that's how many times around that shape revolved. And I can see that this is, I'm not buying this thing. I'm putting it back. I'm going to buy something else at HEB. This is terrible. What's happening? So hit tab. I haven't applied this modifier yet, so I still have access to all this jazz. So now I can just find my little points. Go back to sideways view here, other side. I can just find those points and move them around now. Almost like sculpting. Pull this guy in a little bit. So we can reshape. That out. So we can kind of shape stuff. Kind of cool, right? Maybe, sort of. It's not cool. Nothing impresses this kid. I got nothing. Get out of here, Xander. Anyway, so we got a rough shape, sort of. This is obviously too smooth. It's obviously not the apple we're looking for. But if I hit tab here, right, I can still shape that. Let's just assume this is the shape I want. So I'm gonna go back to object mode here. This steps in the viewport and the render. I don't know if I need to make those match before I do what I'm doing here. You can change the axis that it's revolving around. So if I do this, it doesn't do me any good. Here's my apple sideways. It's a, I don't know, a pot. Yeah, it's a doorknob. So I made a doorknob. Yeah. This is how COVID starts. Okay. He's over here looking doorknobs. All right. So I've got this. I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to merge if things get too close. So that should close it up. And I'm going to right click on this guy and say convert to mesh. Now it still says curve up here, but if I hit tab, this is the geometry I've just created. So I made an apple with a curve. Now I can come in here. I'm going to turn on like soft select, start grabbing some vertices. Like I'll just grab a few here. Come around, because we got the little bumps on the bottom, right? We know about bumpy apples. That's a thing. Grabbing like 2. So I went 5 around. I've got this soft select on, so I'm just going to pull down a little bit. And then as I'm pulling, I'm scrolling the wheel on my mouse. And then boom, we got the little bumpy guys on the bottom of the apple. We can change up the top a little bit. Just grab a few, pull those down. Just so we're not fully symmetrical. It's nice to start fully symmetrical and then like go nuts, like then make it artistic. The other thing that probably I want to fix is somewhere in the middle here. Let me see, is that, oh, didn't mean to move all that. I will later. Turn soft select off. That's just one vertex. Okay, so that's stitched together nicely in the middle for me. Sometimes it doesn't. You just got to check at the middle where things stitch together and make sure that they actually did. Yeah, that one worked. So everything stitched together nicely. We've got an apple. One thing that we will want to check, I'm going to come out here and tab it. I want to fix that stem. The stem's too symmetrical for me. We'll fix that in a minute. But I'm going to come over here and hit this little guy. And I want to look at the face orientation. Oh, we got lucky. Sometimes when we do that screw modifier that revolves around, it doesn't know. And it's like, obviously you wanted the interior of an apple to be your Thunderdome, whatever. And so it might be inside out. But blue is, it's facing us. Red means I'm looking at the backside of nothing. So this worked out. But you do want to check that when you're doing crazy stuff like the screw modifier. So we got an apple. Come back here. Let those go away. Where are we at? 2,944 faces for an apple. It's kind of high poly. We're doing an animation, that's fine. High poly's good. If I'm going to spawn hundreds of these in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, probably this is too much. We're going to pull it down. But for the purposes of this week, as we're trying to get over our donut indulgence, we're just trying to make a really nice bowl of fruit. This is the digital version of, you know, the still life paintings of some bowl of fruit. It's just a common thing. Who's taking it out? What are you doing over there? You trying to show off? You flexing on me? Go back to, are you in object mode or edit mode? Object, right click. Oh, no, I didn't apply. I converted. So right click on the object and convert to mesh. Yeah. Oh, you had some twist to it? Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, I still have one selected. But you can go back in and just select some things, some edges, some spots, and move them around, especially with the soft select on. So this guy, little mountainy boy. And then, so if I grab this top here and I start pulling, like it twists a little bit. Where's my, there we go. Yeah, so I'm rolling my wheel up and now it's starting to tilt that guy. So we don't have, it looks more like an apple stem and less like a, I don't know what was going on there. Something goofy. So now that kind of looks like an apple. I'll leave it to you to add the worm. Actually, here's something fun. We can use this for the worm on the apple. We can use this for vines on something. This is cool. So I'm just going to just leave this apple here. Let me name it. Might be helpful. I'm going to go back and I'm going to add another Bezier curve. And same thing as before. I'm going to tab, select A to grab all of that and delete it, X to delete it. I want to start fresh. So I'm going to come over here to my draw. And I've got my draw guy on, which is how I made that shape in a nice orthographic view. I'm going to come up here and say surface. Now as I just draw down the side of the apple, you can see that it's conformed to the surface. Let me show you something about a curve we can do. I'm going to come over here to this little guy right here. This data looks like our curve. So in that tab form there, and I'm going to do geometry and bevel. I'm going to up the depth of this guy. So I'm just going to grab this and pull. So now I got a little wormy guy coming around the side of my apple, or vines, or whatever. And I can draw more with that on. It's just goofy fun. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, well, there's like multiple worms. Like, just throw it away. Get it out of there. Leave one. But that's fun for, you know, whatever. Worms, vines, decorations. Same thing here. This is still it's just a curve. I mean, I've made it look like it has more depth by beveling it. But if I wanted to actually make this into a worm, I'm going to go back to object mode and do the exact same thing. I'm going to right click, convert to mesh. And I probably need to stitch that in. So right now it's just a straw that conforms to the shape of the apple. So I'm just come in here, grab an edge, select edge loops, and then hit F to fill that in. Maybe even just while I've got that, I'll just scale it. Never mind. Turn off soft select and then scale it. So S to scale. And then we get a little bit of kind of the rounded part. So it's not just looking like a capped straw. Anyway, the worms bonus. We'll figure out how to quantify that. Select loops F S. Scale it down a little bit. Let's go ahead and call him worm. All right. Now, if I bring Spidey Cube back in, this is probably the biggest apple ever. Let me select the apple. It is. Yeah, I'm just. This has gone from like we're gonna do a cute little fruit render to like a horror movie. Yeah, with just one little curved worm. Where was I? Okay, so I've got my apple selected, and my dimensions are 1.38 meters tall. So it's like, yeah, it's a pretty big apple, which means that's probably more like a snake. Yeah, yeah. We'll scale it all later. Okay, I'm just gonna take my apple and hide it. And so the curve with the screw modifier, super awesome, fun stuff. Hide the worm. Again, I'm just to walk through that. We'll make the bowl. So I'm going to come in here. It's very nice to draw in one of these orthographic views. And again, if this guy's not showing up, I'll just do this. There it is. Yeah. Hit the little bow and arrow boy. So you get your guy. If you just click on one of those, you'll go to a sideways view. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a curve, Bezier, tab to go to edit mode, A to select everything, X to delete it. I don't want that original thing. And now I'm just drawing. So I don't even know. Maybe I should unhide the apple so I've got an idea of scale. Oh, that's huge. All right. Just going to draw. So we got this. Do the base first. Come up. Should be able to keep drawing from here. Hope I didn't ruin it. There we go. It's almost like a goblet shape. This is the bowl, yeah. And again, we can make adjustments to it once we put the modifier on. I think since I drew two shapes, I ended up with two shapes. Yeah, weird, right? Who would have thought? Okay, I'm going to grab this one and move it here. And then grab the two of them together. Oh, it's four together. Let's make sure. 6. Whatever. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Here, snap, split, separate. I want you to merge, peoples. The which? So these vertices are slightly different. One thing that I'll do also is I'll grab 2 and then M and L. Nope, it's not working. So in mesh mode, that merges to the last vertex you selected. So M to merge, L for last. And you said he did, I'm trying to remember, he did G and then B? What? Like literally right on it. We'll make them be friends later. We should be able to join those once we get into merge, into merge, mesh mode. We'll pretend those are good. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add modifier, generate, screw. You can see I didn't have that one vertex all the way in, so I ended up with a hole in the top and the bottom. And I don't even know about the side here where those were coming together. Yeah, yeah. We'll stuff will just fall right out. It's a self-draining bowl. I mean, I'll bet you can sell it like that. Yeah, that just sounds like a feature at this point. Yeah. So we'll go back into edit mode and let's just see what I can find here. Grab the bottom one. That's weird. All right. Looks like some stuff got out of whack. How did I end up drawing over here? It's not on the line. That's why. Oh, look at that. Because this line exists in 2D space here, and as I'm moving it closer to the origin, wild. So I want that to be on the X at 0. There we go. That's where that hole came from. Yeah, just keep adjusting until it's exact. You know what? We can pretend we like it like that too. That was totally deliberate. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, this is a great way, and I like the fruit bowl as a follow up to the donuts, but we could have easily just made this whole assignment making a chessboard because this is a prime way to make a pawn and everything else. Let's see if I hit merge here. It's the same thing. Just keep adjusting, having fun, move things around. Well, I've got a sharp edge on it, but we do. We probably grabbed some handle on one of the curves. Yeah, notice that each point does have its center vertex, which is where it's at, and then little handles that you can grab and pull and twist. End up with all kinds of goofiness. So we could shape this thing literally for days, but I'm not going to. I'm not even convinced myself that I'm going to let this go, but here we go. All right, I'm going to pretend this is the bowl I want to make. So we'll do the same thing. Tab back into object mode. Looks like I'm going to have to fix something in there, maybe. I'm just going to convert to mesh. Oh yeah, there's 64 vertices there because all of these lines came together. Is it just 64? All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go vertex. No, it's under mesh, merge. And since I've got 64 of them selected, I'm just going to say merge at the center of all the things I've got selected. And now it's one vertex. Whoop. There we go. It's one. Right there in the middle. I didn't mean to move, but I did anyway. There we go. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, make sure, I'll bet we got the same problem here. Seems to be some kind of hole there. $33 because these 32 and then the one in the middle. Let's go ahead and do that. So hit M to merge, A for at center, and now that part's stitched together. I'll try one more thing here. So I'm going to select something from the bottom, and then select linked. Aha. So somewhere up in there is where our two lines didn't get merged together. So these are not linked together. So do the same thing here. I'm going to select, linked, pull this guy up. So you can see where they're supposed to meet. And this is an easy fix. Grab an edge here, not that one. All right, grab one of those edges. I'll grab one of these edges. So shift and click, and then select edge loops. So now I've got them all, and I can try to merge all that together, or I can just use the thing we did before, which is bevel or bridge edge loops. Now they're connected. We just stitched both parts together. We have one complete, ridiculous looking bowl. Okay, I'm gonna come over here. Here's materials, materials plus lights. Good night, what's happening? Oh, the light's right on the rim of the bowl. That's funny. Yeah. Well, before we get too much further, let me do this. I'm going to try and scale these down. We can still keep making stuff big, and then we'll scale them down for our scene. So we could bring in, furniture and stuff. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to add what do I want? Just a cylinder, a circle. Let's do a cylinder. So let's make a cylinder. We'll give it lots of vertices. Give it a 1 meter radius. It's 2 meters diameter. It's a big round table. Yeah. So we'll leave that. So that's our table. We're just gonna make a tabletop to render stuff on, and it doesn't have to be that tall. So we got a tabletop. We just made a cylinder. So that's going to be our master thing that we're going to scale to. So I'm going to grab this guy, scale down, so it sits on our table. Use my snapping tool to set it right on the table. Set right on the table. Why are you doing this? Weird. I mean, not unless it's like Halloween. Weird. Let's see what's going on. Closest increment. Oh, because it's on increment, not vertex. That's why. There we go. And just hover on one of the vertices along the top edge. Now it's sitting right on the table. And I've got a giant apple somewhere, which is going to be awesome when I... Aha! It's a great apple. Yeah. We're going to need a bigger bowl. And then same thing. I'm just going to put that in the bowl. Yeah, don't mind the fact that everything's still way too symmetrical. So we've got that. So the apple was fun. We could make peppers or pears or lots of things with this deal. I'm gonna go ahead and do the glass for the fruit bowl. Huh? Okay, I've expanded and now it's a produce bowl. I like peppers. Throw some jalapenos up in there. I have just been canceled. Okay.
Pepper and fruit salad?
Yeah. Tomatoes are fruit.
Don't put it in a fruit bowl though. Put it in salad. Put it in salad.
I'll put some fruit in my salsa, which starts as mostly vegetables, right?
Is it tomato fruit salad just salsa?
I think that's a tomato smoothie.
You mean ketchup?
Well,
You mean
pepper.
V8?
You mean ketchup?
No, ketchup's got a lot of ketchup's gross. Anyway,
Tomatoes are gross.
all right, let's make this bowl look more fancy. So we're gonna add a material to it. This one's fun. So I'm gonna go plus, make a material slot, hit plus again, make a new material. And here, instead of principled BS, DF, whatever, there's lots of cool things, including glass, that I can just add to this. So I've changed the surface to glass, and the world does not know how to handle it. And I should have hit save a couple times. Blender's locked. Yes! All right. Hit Control S, Control S. Yeah, yeah. You'll learn some healthy paranoia. We just like save every time you move. All right, let's see if that's gonna show better. Am I on? Oh, I'm on Eevee. That's why. Let me go to cycles.
Ooh.
And that's how we heat the room back up.
Instead of hiring people, just advertising for students for
Yeah. Welcome to our Blender campfire. All right, yeah, so it definitely looks better in cycles, but it's taken a hot minute. Oh, yeah, what happened? I don't know why that's not settings. Let me just change that to the GPU. And then in the viewport itself, I don't need 1024. We can, we can definitely just only do 120, maybe 64. And denoise it. Oh, what the what? Okay. Got some chunky glass now. Definitely be more impressive if we add color to other stuff and we could see it. So let me pop back over this way, and we're going to ignore the glass for now. I'm actually going to rename this to bowl and then hide it. We could draw vines all over it, or worms. Arsenic glass?
Like they used to make like. Oh, jeez. Like they used. Like
Okay.
you can't make it anymore. You can probably still find that.
Oof. Okay, so the table, we could bring in our wood that we use on the furniture, and that'd be nice. But I'm going to name that too. Just tabletop. Hide it. Take my apple here, and let's go look at something fun that I don't know if we did before. Did we do this in the donuts? Did we do texture painting? We did. Okay, cool. So here we are. Yeah. So we'll do some texture painting on our apple. Material.
a little black spot.
Yeah, so we can paint that guy up, do some cool stuff. How did that work? It's been a hot minute.
By Apple's topology.
That's an orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
The glass is going wonky. All right, let me just change this then. We're gonna. Here, we'll get rid of it. We're just going to make this red so I can come look at the matrix. So we, yeah, start with a nice base color and like paint some green specks around and have some really fun with the texture painter. What I wanted was some color to see through the bowl. Look at that. You can see like, it's just nice. Oof. Yes, it's sort of like an apple. Oh, I didn't scale the worm. That's, yep.
Oh,
He still exists. That's fun.
I'm gonna go for that.
Hilarious.
he is taking over the purple
Yep.
apple.
He's still a snake. We'll make a new worm. That's fine. Get rid of him. Don't draw a worm in rendered mode. Complete vertices. Draw. There we go. Ooh, can I draw across multiple surfaces? It's again, it's more of a snake. I don't know what's happening, but this is the evil we have wrought. Probably a vine again. Anyway, cool stuff. So, lots we can do with that. We will get into bananas and pencils and stuff on Thursday. I want you guys to get comfortable with this and have some fun with it. Make a chess piece. What else have we done in the past? Mushrooms, oranges, pears. Right, just using that screw modifier, we can do some cool stuff. So we'll get to that later. All right. But you're done. So we're going to get into more fruits. We need apples. We're going to do bananas on Thursday. We'll need oranges, avocados, melons, grapes, something long. Peppers, cucumbers, pineapples, other things we can do. Mushrooms, pencils, fruit. We'll just have some fun. And so I'm going to start adding some colors and some textures to this. And I'm going to go ahead and do that while we're still recording. Let's go ahead and use the Photo P app and just make some wood for us really quick rather than track down the old ones. So new project, go 124 2048, go to full 2K. And find some browns. Filter render fibers. Make it up. Here we go. All right, so save this. There's a wood grain, color, or diffuse. I don't know what's happening across the way, but they're having fun. And then I'm going to make a normal map for it. So turn that same thing into a normal map. I'm going to up the scale to 200, make it really, really crunchy. Oh, careful. That's the part about doing stuff in the browser. Don't refresh, hit back. Don't lose your work. Nice. So I'm going to export this as a PNG. As wood, grain, normal. I got those guys. I don't know about the worm. We'll let him hang out for now. Oh, I'm still drawing. Here we go. Infested fruit bowl. Maybe some flies swirling. Yeah.
Make our food look rotten.
Ugh, gross. All right, I'm gonna take my tabletop, make it look like a tabletop. So I'm gonna add a new material. It's gonna move my stuff into the right folders first. I'm gonna go to my downloads. I'm gonna grab all of these because I'm gonna use them all. Copy, and then go find my Blender textures folder. Fruit bowl textures, paste it in. JPEG. Get out of here with that nonsense. All right, now my base color, image texture. Grain, and then I'm going to make sure we got that normal map on it. We'll go this way. Normal map, and then the color is an image texture. So many clicks. Ooh, yeah. Normal on a wood grain is just, yeah. Maybe make that a bigger table. This, and then I'm going to go view, line active camera to selected, so we're zoomed in on that guy. I'm just going to make a couple of planes or boxes in the background, so we've got like a nice full scene. Guess we're happy about something over there. Rotate on the Y by 90. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Too close. Scale on the Y. Scale on the Z. I'm going to duplicate that. Rotate on the Z by 90. And pull it over. Ah, doesn't go all the way down. I probably need a floor. Same thing. Actually, Shift D, Escape, R, Y, 90. Nope, just kidding. I'm trying to do rotate on the X. Rotate on the X by 90. And move it down. Just, why are you not cooperating? It's an honor just to be nominated. That's a lot of work. Okay, we got a background. Make some bricks for it. It's Blender being rude. Just those tiny little fits sometimes. And my amazing bricks are sideways. Perfect. There we go. Rotate it. This guy the brick. And have to adjust him as well. Fantastic. So A, R, 90, enter. I just had them. Yeah. I was using them for something else, and they happened to be in my downloads folder, which is my stockpile of nonsense. Let me go grab the other one actually that I need. I've got a normal map for this too. So I have my normal. Let's see what this looks like. Click around 27 times. Oh, I didn't copy it over. It's it's nice until Blender revolts. You can't do this to me. It does. It sacrifices a lot. Honestly, except for our two white floor and the weird worm crawling through here, this is starting to look kind of good. So the other thing I want you to do is we're gonna give it a floor and some background like this. We want to set up a nice render, kind of like we did with the donuts. Find other things, make this fruit bowl scene awesome. And then I also want to play with lights. So right now I've got one light in there, and I think it was moved and scaled for my massive apple, so who even knows where it's at now? Where's my light? Way up there. So, it's probably extreme. Hmm? Yeah. Not off the shelf at Home Depot. You've got to reorder that. Pull that down to a 100-watt light. We can bring in some other stuff. Really? 100's not a lot, apparently. Oh, that's the thing we didn't finish playing with, is the glass. We were trying to get color and stuff so we could see how cool it was. So you go back to my bowl. By default, it is white. We can change this to be, hello, or we can just make Blender really upset. So we can change the color of the glass. IOR's index of refraction, we can play with this. Some numbers. Absolutely melt the CPU and the GPU at the same time. They'll become one merged object, the GCPU, that does nothing because it's broken. If you pull the roughness way down, we get more and more shiny, more and more reflective. Yes. Yeah, so I was gonna mention your arsenic glass. If you wanna add the frost or whatever, you can add roughness. There's lots of other things we can do in here. Set the index of refraction to 1, and like this is almost see-through. which is wild. Let me go back on the roughness to bring it back, and now I can see kind of like the inside. Lots of cool things we can do with this glass material. Just play with these numbers and colors and have fun. You can give it a normal map. So on our clear thing, we can add ridges. So let's just try and break the computer. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the wood grain normal just to see what that does. Yeah, they liked the engraving idea, apparently. Okay, I don't know what that's. Crank the strength of the normal up to 10 and then watch everything burn. Let's see what happens. Huh. Well, also, you know what? Since we started with a curve and then the modifier, this may not have UV coordinates. So I'm going to come over UV editing. Yeah, it's just like laid out really weird. That's odd. Right, so my mouse over here, I'm gonna hit U for unwrap. We'll just do the regular smart UV project. You get a bunch of weirdness, but now we should be able to see it in the layout. I don't know. Maybe if I just up like the roughness a lot. Oh, I can start to see it there. Yeah. So anyway, you could add a normal map. You could do lots of weird stuff with glass. The heat right now it's phenomenal. So keep having fun with curves, materials, textures, and then we will look at a couple of different ways to do something like a banana or a pencil, kind of like what we did with the bridging edge loops here, but we'll just make shapes and then loft those together.
Okay, a pepper would be going maybe, but a pencil?
It's a neat object for using with that. Yeah, the pencil doesn't quite fit the scene unless you're using it to stab giant worms who've invaded your fruit bowl. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So you'll obviously also want to model a laptop and a charger and a phone and a. What do we even do? Like, who uses a pencil for homework? Do we do that? For music theory and for like actual drawing classes?
I use one.
That tracks. That tracks. I'm concerned. We're just going to walk away from this whole conversation.